Hello again, welcome back everyone. LiquorHound here with you. Thank you for joining me once again for another spirit review video. And today we're going to be reviewing a very unique American-made vodka coming to us out of Woodinville, Washington. This is Softail Spirits Vodka. Now what makes it so unique is that they're using Washington State apples as the base. But before we get into that, let's talk real quickly about the area that they're in and how they got their beginning. So they're located in Woodinville, Washington. That is in prime wine country. If you go to Woodinville, which is just 30-35 minutes northeast of downtown Seattle, you know, there's a ton of wineries and tasting rooms. The 2.5 hours down that road, a little bit further, is actually the Yakima Valley. There's a lot of great vineyards down there. So they have access in Woodinville to some great grapes, okay? And that's how come in 2008, when Softail Spirits first began, they began as a grapparia. So they imported from Portugal an Alembic copper pot still, and those are kind of those onion-shaped stills, hand-hammered, beautiful still, and they began using those grapes to create wine, distill that wine, and you create grappa. So this grappa that they were creating back in 2008, they were creating a Blanco, they were creating a Galo, and a Reserve grappa. In 2009, they started doing single varietals. They were doing Cabernet Sauvignon grappa and also a Sangiovese. Now the Sangiovese also won a 2009 San Francisco World Spirits Competition silver medal. So they were honing their skills, they were learning how to use their still and how to create a really nice grappa from those grapes. Now along the way they started doing limoncello as well, but in 2010 heading into 2011 he began doing a vodka. Now just like he did with the grapes where you're sourcing local produce, he did the same thing with those Washington State apples. Genius move, because when you can work with what you have locally, you get to know the soils, you get to know the farmers, the producers, and you just get the better quality ingredients. And I think that really shows in this spirit, because when I nose it, when I taste it, wow, it's amazing vodka. Alright, so Softail Spirits, if you're ever in that area again, Chateau Saint Michel is right around the corner. There's also the Red Hook Brewery. Right down the street is where Softail Spirits. Now before we get to tasting, I wanted to show you the legs on this guy. I don't know if we can see it, but just now the legs are starting to drop and it's starting to scallop really nicely, which tells you there's a lot of sugars in this vodka. Now why are there sugars? Because those apples are just so rich in natural sugars, and he creates an apple cider. Now once you create that apple cider, you distill it one time, you end up with a apple brandy. Now it's unaged, so it's perfectly clear just like this vodka. But you get a smell, you'll smell the apples, you'll taste the apples. You distill that a few more times where you remove those apple characteristics, you have this, vodka distilled from apples. Let me show you the bottle real quick. Beautiful bottle. Now they have changed the label, now it's like all tan in color, but you know, I'm not really concerned about the label, it's this beautiful spirit, this beautiful vodka inside. And one thing I must mention about this vodka before I taste it, it did win a double gold at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition this past year, so the accolades are starting to, you know, pile up on this vodka. Unfortunately, they are only locally distributed right now, so if you're in that Washington area, that's where you need to be to get it. But like I said, if you're there, you need to stop by there and pick up at least a bottle of this, if not some of their fabulous grappas. Okay, so on the nose. Sweet, creamy. You don't really smell apples, you know, you're not going to do that, but it smells like a little nice vanilla malt coming through. A little bit of ethanol on the background. Kind of reminds me of a Russian vodka with the sweetness and the malt and a little bit of the vanilla. Alright, taste. As far as spirits go, especially as far as vodkas go, it's on the sweeter side. Super soft, creamy, wonderful on the palate. As you roll towards the mid palate, you do pick up a little bit of alcohol, but that vanilla and that malt are still lingering throughout. As you head into the finish, it actually starts to clean up and starts to feel rather crisp. The alcohol has completely gone away. It just kind of shows up just for a minute right after that mid palate, and then all it leaves as the alcohol vanishes is just a little bit of subtle warmth. But to me, it's all about that palate and that sweetness from those apples. Beautiful vodka. Like I said, regardless of the label change, I'm not really concerned about that. But I hope you get the chance to try this vodka. That, like I said, there's, it's not the perfect vodka. There's, that little bit of alcohol in the finish. But wow, I mean, that's such a small price to pay for the way this vodka really entries. And how it finishes, very, very clean. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Everybody have a great evening, and cheers.